Hello everybody, it's the Meatbox, and welcome back to Ship Kids! This is episode 3, and this lovely lady I'm drawing here, well, this is Lola Koda, the AsuiKoda child. She is female. She goes to UA, but she is in what I imagine would be this kind of research department. She researches quirk development, pretty much. She has a cute little short bob that's, kind of Asui-Gurian. I think I either lightened it up or darkened it up a little bit. I'm not really sure. I lightened it up and saturated it. That's it. She has... Now, about Koda, and I'm just going to call her Asahi because saying Froppy just is a bit awkward for me. But they both have very dynamic mouths, so I kind of tried to fuse what they'd look like together. Genetically, I'm not really sure if that's what would happen, but it's okay. In my notes here, it says I gave her Koda's eyes, but I'm pretty sure Koda's eyes are black. I'm pretty sure Asuhi's are too, but usually if I draw Asuhi, I'll color her eyes green. So, plus the brown, you'll see I'll color them in later. Fit more with her color scheme, I feel. Now, her quirk is amphibian control. Just like her dad, she can control, well, not every animal. She can only really control amphibians, but that's okay because she doesn't really use her quirk that much in her field. Something about the other departments at UA we've only really seen so far in anime, that is, I'm not caught up on the manga, is that in the machine department, is it the machine department? Where Mei Hatsume is. They are not really wearing their uniforms, so I feel like in places other than the hero course, they don't really use their uniform, so I just gave her this Froppy sweatshirt, even though she'd probably have an anima? I think Koda's hero name's Anima, correct me if I'm wrong, sweater, but she probably wears that Froppy one a lot. Just some comfy sweatpants and some sneakers. With these sweaters, I kind of give a homage to that. She appreciates her parents' hero duty. It's not really what she'd like. I'm so sorry if you can hear my computer fan. It's running off the walls today. But anyways, as I was saying, she can respect the two hero parents like a person with two police officer parents. They're not necessarily have to be a police officer. So what she wants to do is that she's in the quirk development research department, is that she really wants to become a doctor and researching how quirks develop, really more going into the genetics of all that, and genetic research of quirk passed down mint and all that jazz, and maybe possibly creating quirks for the quirkless youth, as it's really a tragedy if you kind of if you're quirkless. It's a real bullying issue, and it's like you should really respect who you are, but in the My Hero Society, it's not really that great. She probably you know how Asahi has that like Garo kind of voice? That was a terrible impression of her, I'm so sorry. But she has that little croaky voice. I feel like she'd have that. But she'd also be really soft-spoken. But she's also a sweetheart. And she's really comfy, too. So, moving on. This is probably the ship a lot of you have been waiting for. This is the BakuDeku kid. This is Toshinori Bakugo. Toshinori, named after All Might, because both of his dads love All Might. He would probably be in Class 1A, but I'm going to get a little into that in a minute after I explain the rest. He has Bakugo's blonde hair. I gave him Deku's green eyes along with Deku's freckles. I won't in the future give all of Deku's kids his freckles, because that's not going to happen. Genetically wise, wouldn't always happen. His quirk is explosions, just like Bakugo, because stated before, Deku does not have a quirk, or at least he didn't. Not sure. I've heard some things from the manga what happened with his quirk, but I'm not gonna say it out loud here. So he'd probably much just have explosions like his dad. Maybe a weaker or even stronger form of it, maybe, with that. No, one for all is not genetic. Never mind. Now, you can't see it yet, but when I colored his costume, his costume doesn't really read hero-like a little bit. Maybe it does, like ninja-like. Well, this is. I talked about it in the last episode, one of the kids being a villain. Well, I thought of this idea. the infiltration of student villains. His villain name is Red Hot because he needed a color and it was red, and his explosions are hot, so this is Red Hot. He is a villain. He'd probably be the right-hand man to our villain leader, who's going to be the next ship kid we talk about here. So yeah, he's a very villainous person. Cause like having those two big, strong hero dads, he'd be sick of all their limelight. And everybody like, whoa, what's it like having the two top heroes as your fathers? Like, he wants to break away from that in a kind of negative way. He is a very, I don't really know how to describe his personality. Like, you know what, in a stereotypical, like, fancy one, like a ho 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 kind of way. Now, Toshinori here, having, it's kind of ironic too, having a hero first name. So, if he was in Class 1A, I feel like he'd be the first person they suspect once, like, the whole UA finds out that there's a secret villain league. They probably call themselves the juvenile vigilantes or something. So they're gonna try to get their hero licenses and work behind the scenes, like spies, like a certain character. I think. As I said before in this video, I really need to catch up on the manga. I think you can read it online. I also give him this little mask, even though it does not cover his eyes and his hair, so it's very clear who he is. But they kind of work more in the shadows and everything behind the scenes. For the most part, I'm gonna make a character down the line that's a bit more obvious, because not all the kids have to be children age either. Especially for some of the characters that are a bit older. Like, Gran Torino's, like, kid wouldn't be young, maybe. I don't know. We don't know what Gran Torino gets up to. I'm not really sure what to say about him much more. Now, I know I made the BakuDeku kid really positive and the BakuDeku kid really negative. I'm sorry. I feel like that's a little more interjection of how much I do not like this ship, because I think it's a tad bit abusive, to be honest. But if you like it, that's perfectly okay. We can agree to disagree on him. So maybe that's kind of why I made it a villain, because I see it as a villainous ship. Again, perfectly okay if you do. I know it doesn't sound like it because I'm kind of bashing it. Yet, I'm not going to change my mind on it. Either way. Oh yeah, I changed his name later because I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I was like, no, we're just going to make it Toshinori. Correct explosions. And moving on to our lovely, lovely juvenile League of Villains ringleader. This is Nina Aizawa, the EraserMic kid. I personally ship EraserMic because I think the loud and tired dynamic is adorable. She goes to UA. I'm not really sure where, but she's somewhere behind the scenes. You'll see as I'm sketching her, she doesn't wear her jacket. She kind of wears it around her waist like the delinquent she is. Not that that makes you a delinquent. I just think it looks kind of cool compared to the neat uniform. I give her this kind of dynamic hair. You know, it's stereotypical anime hair. Like, what are the gravity? What's the gravity behind that? It's less Yu-Gi-Oh-ish, you know. But anyways, I gave her Aizawa's black hair and Mike's eyes because okay, I should have referenced this, I know. But I'm pretty sure Mike has those swirly eyes, but like his are yellow. Well, I made Nina's yellow too. Now, her quirk's something interesting to explain her because I'm not really sure how I really want it to work. Now, her quirk is in her voice. She can, like Aizawa, he kind of gets into people's heads to erase the quirk, I think. And Prison Mike is really loud. So I feel like she can get into people's heads and send this like searing screech that like causes them to be really weak, or like when she's like at her strongest, they can cause people to pass out. And that'd be a really strong villainous quirk, don't you think? Cause a little mischief. Now this screech, it's like maybe like a siren or like a nails on the chalkboard kind of thing. I know there's like government weapons or something, I think, that it's like a noise that you can't bear and it like drives the person crazy. As I stated before, she is the leader of the Villain League, having these two chaotic hero parents. I feel like this is her teenage rebellion phase. She does carry a little knife with her, but it's probably like a toy knife because she doesn't really need it for threatening purposes, you know. And a can of tear gas, not grass, on her hip there to help her out in tight situations. She is very chaotic. She's stereotypical villain chaotic, like Toga, Mina Toga, but also Harley Quinnish. I think like the flirtatious, like ooh, like with her villain costume. She has these like little short shorts and that tank top where you can kind of see like a little undershirt poking out there. Cause not that being racy makes you a deviant, but it's stereotypical. And stereotypes is kind of what I ran off with this. Hand on the hip, the little hand. That's all I think about when I see that. She's probably kind of loud, but her quirk probably I'd imagine she'd have like chronic fatigue after using her quirk and just okay, I'm gonna go take a nap now. You losers deal with the cleanup. A very strong role. That's why she kind of chooses Toshinori to be like her right hand man because he can kind of get things done. He's a very serious, like yes man. That's something she needs. Like okay, tell them what to do. I'm gonna go lay down. Good night. I wasn't really sure what to do with this villain league. I'm not really sure because like if I'm doing a villain league, it means all these kids have to be in the same thing together. So maybe it's a whole thing where there was this quirk outbreak where like a ship was formed out of every kid, if that makes sense. But like not every ship, because I'm not gonna draw every ship in this series. I just can't. Some of them I personally don't feel right doing, like the whole Deku and All Might ship. I don't think that's appropriate. So I know this doesn't have associate with Nina, but I don't really know what else to say for her, so I'm just gonna get into this little tangent here. Some ships I don't feel comfortable doing, so hence, you know, I think there's other ships like Deku X Aizawa, and again, that's teacher and a student. It's nasty. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. Anyways. Oh, I do want to try to associate all the villains with purple. I know Toshinori doesn't, because I wasn't really sure what to do with the villain league yet. He's the oddball out, but the rest of them from now on are gonna be a purple and black theme. You know, they match. But also, wait, never mind, it makes sense because Toshinori is supposed to be the spy red herring sort of thing. So Nina Aizawa, EraserMic Kin, quirk, inner voice. Well, anyways, hi. Well, goodbye. I'm the Meatbox. I have a Etsy store where I sell buttons and button pins and all that jazz, my hero ones. I also have an Instagram where I post most of my art and sometimes these kids early. So if you like that, please like, subscribe, follow me on all those things, and goodbye. See you next Friday.